continue here. Hoping to take that out. Okay, 45 seconds. They're still being delayed there. Good. Oh, good. We got 2 of their reconnaissance vehicles, BTR or BDRMs, I believe. They were. Okay, now we have this. This one, yeah, they're basically in that. So let's fire for effect there. And we can. How many rounds we got? Fire for effect there too. I know we have some kills, but there may be some more unit like there. We just shadow it. No, because I think we're entering a dead zone, or because the scouts are no longer there, we can't see here. So what I want to do with Fire Mission 2 is set a new target. We're gonna go there, not too close to our, well, it's outside of the target registration point, but so it's going to take almost 4 minutes, but might as well get that going now. Hopefully this fire mission will get it. They have 1 round left of ammunition. ATM team taking fire, yeah, this one. Unfortunately, they were just there to delay these guys to put some artillery on. Yes, and I can show line of sight. See, line of sight is, you know, and this is from this where I'm clicking, gives you a line of sight from this position here. And so you can judge how well, you know, we can click on here, what they can see, what their areas of engagement would be. Leave this, and you can come here and then get the map in an isometric type viewpoint to see some of the contour terrains, to get an idea also that a lot of this is sort of up on a ridge here. We got a low spot of the river, or stream I should say, coming through here, and another one there. So we're sort of, you know, I'll tell you who I'm copying as a field commander for this battle here, because we have a forward, relatively forward capture point, you know, victory point, whatever you want to call it here. And because I was able to use this and sort of spot this ridge here, I decided to go after Wellington's plans. Wellington liked to, the Duke of Wellington, General Wellesley, but the Duke of Wellington liked to use a terrain feature to be on the reverse side of it. As the enemy approaches up the hill, he would have skirmishers exposed, sort of what we're doing here. And then as the enemy approaches near the crest, then he marches his battalions up from cover, visual and physical cover from behind it, and fires into the enemy. Or he allows them to overcome the crest with a stream or something that would break up any sort of charge down into the valley kind of thing, so that his troops. So, oh, H. So we can also see this here, the various terrain levels as well. And so I'm using that. Instead of trying to kill all the Soviets out here, I'm trying to get them to come into here and hopefully have them butchered. Oh, and it also works in the ISO. Okay. And so we can see here. So I'm trying to use down here and this area, as we can see we've done some kills here, but also here once they push through here is meant to be my kill zone, and just they need to push through the forest here through these paratrooper squads, and if they come out, again another sort of kill zone on the far side of that. That is my plans for this battle. Oh, let's hold. Yeah, we're down to 10 rounds in that one. Okay, they're already holding. Okay. I think we're going to do another fire mission just because I'm not sure whether there's units in there or will be coming there shortly. Another main battle tank there with BTR 152 and your T-55 with a mine plow. No, we didn't have mines in this mission. Good, 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 good. Destroyed. Just what I wanted to have happen. Come out into there. And fire mission 1 again. Yeah, we have 119 rounds. Let's fire. We still have units delayed. Units box. Oh, good, 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 good. More being taken down. So if you study Napoleonic battles, they can help you with modern warfare as well. Gun teams. Very nervous, suppressed, and have 1 casualty. But we're taking them out, including back in here, which is good. I don't know. I want to do more of that. What's my artillery? Okay. Yeah, let's do. Before readjusting, it's just going to take more and more time as we move out of our target registry point radius effective or rapid. So he's coming up there getting targeted from multiple directions, including things that can kill him. The AMX-13 just did. And it's the MX-1390 because it has a 90mm gun. The original, if I'm not mistaken, had a 76mm gun on it. T-62 main battle tank. Boom! Taken out. Very good, very good. Just what I wanted to have happen. Well, somehow these guys got in and around our paratroopers. Okay, well, boom. Take it out. On this guy. Okay, so he's gonna fire when they get to there. They're doing well. They'll cover anything coming there. They're still covering stuff coming from the front, which is okay, but we may reposition him soon. Yeah, covering, spotting. We got this anti-tank element here for things coming through there more. This is the HQ element for all of them. I don't want to lose that preferably. Armored cars again with this, I think the same 90mm gun as the MX-13s, just in a wheeled vehicle. Okay. We have... Don't want to be flanked over here, so what I'm going to move fire mission 4. Set target. Let's see if we can put them down here. I know it's going to probably be outside, or it is outside of there. Target registry point, so... I don't know if that's worth. Firing again or not. Like this is going to get hit pretty hard, so immobilize. Well, he can't go anywhere. He can I just don't know if I should move him or not. How much he's gonna have trouble getting through these woods, I know. If we were to come over here, that would be fairly decent. No, we're just gonna leave him where he is. Hopefully to survive, but hopefully he gets it real soon. Boom, missile coming in. Boom, destroyed. Very good. And the BTR-60's coming up there. Pushing for the command post. Not that worried about him. That's good. Destroyed. bastard like I was worried about. You know, just for the fun of it, let's bring in here on him. Inbound, 2 Mirage 3s. They have cluster bombs, some cannons, and some air-to-air missiles. Let's see if they survive the run. I don't know how dynamic their targeting is, meaning if he moves out of it, because it's obviously, you know, basically 5 minutes for him to come in. If they move out of the zone, whether they will dumbly fire at the designated location or whether they will try to spot the target, or, you know, tanks or whatever it might be. Okay, so we're fighting motor rifle squads. Probably got out of a BTR 60 here. The paratrooper squad. Now we're motivated to cower. Pushing it through. I don't plan on using my artillery this close. So my troops. Okay, again, I want to see line of sight for this. Okay, they should start to engage soon. Ah, another main battle tank now. Because like I expected, they moved out of the zone. Wanted to give them a target fairly well out in the open so that the airstrikes, so that they would be able to spot it. So I'm figuring either in trees or too close to friendlies, that's probably not the best idea. Well, we may take them out before aircraft even get there. Yep, we did. That main battle tank is down, whatever it was. Don't know if there's friendlies. Oh, okay. So right in here it looks like we have some sort of MLRS system, maybe? Okay, so, okay, fire mission 2. Fire mission 2. Let's set targets here. Oh, it's off map? Okay. So I'm just seeing this is just sort of where I'm first seeing it coming in. Okay. Good to know. So we'll cancel that fire mission. I don't need to waste the rounds. Should have a little bit of our high explosive coming in on these guys. Not that it's going to stop them necessarily if they are main battle tanks, but let's see about AG here. They're going to stay there long enough. They're pushing up there. Yeah, T-55 coming in. We'll probably pair up here. T-62s as well. Taking out one. Okay. Now let's Okay, I want to see line of sight here. Okay, that would be all right. Okay. So you come to here with an advance to contact here, so that once you get the orders, move up. We're still battling some other rifle squads there. And Perez. I keep doing that. Left click and then right click once we no longer want to do that. Yeah, it is pretty thin down here. We just have the paratrooper squads left. Couple of, well, scout car, light tank. They've been pushing pretty hard through here. I don't know if I should take the time to try to well, let's get this guy, because he's probably not doing very much. Let's move him fast to here. And let's move these scout cars. These are the Panhards, however you want to say it. So they will path flying, so let's keep right clicking, left clicking, which one I want to do. Left click and then right click to stop it there. We have 51 seconds until our air coming in, but there may be nothing there for them to strike at by the time they're there, and I wouldn't want to put an airstrike, I don't think, that close to us. But maybe I should have, I don't know. Still holding what? Oh, just a rifle squad down there. That isn't very important. Our jets. Oh, here our jets are inbound. Again, we can zoom in and see. Nice model of a Mirage as it zips past us. I like to even do the shadow on the ground. Don't know if they'll find any targets out there in their target zone. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, there. The Soviet Mi-4 helicopter is fleeing the zone. We've got lots and lots of dead vehicles here. Let's also get you moving. And we're going to go fast. Come back to this bridge. Come down to here. Just get into there. BTR 152 moving there. Hopefully one of these guys that I have left and have an order to move will take it out. Yes, very good. More rifle squads coming up through here. I hope the people of France honor the deaths this day that we have fought in their defense. Because we are having more and more losses. But we are punishing the enemy incredibly hard. Now, an interesting aside, I know many of you like some of my historical analysis. The French army, in the interwar periods, sort of divided its tank forces between two branches. The main tank force supported the infantry. The sort of smaller, and even at times they didn't call them tanks just because the infantry supposedly had all the tanks, was the cavalry tanks. Now the cavalry tanks, I don't think anybody would call them fast, but they might be fast compared to other other French tanks, but they weren't super speedy. They were nothing like the Soviet BT series kind of speed in tanks. And so, and all the infantry tanks were slow. They learned the lesson that this isn't a good thing in 1940 when Germany invades. So when France rebuilds its armored force, they jump to the other extreme. And the AMX-13, which we can see down here, is the outgrowth of that. Now, the French government, and I don't know, I presume still to this day, I'm not sure, but the French government in the 40s, in the post-war period, but definitely in the, I should say, 30s, their biggest fear, the French political establishment, their biggest fear was their own army, their professional army. They feared it more than they feared being invaded by the Germans or anybody else. So they wanted a mass conscript army. They wanted a very large army, and made up of the people, so that they didn't fear. It was the professional soldiers, the professional officers. That's who they feared. Well, because of wanting to have this very large army, they were really have cost budgetary situations. And even though they're trying to have everybody in the army, an infantryman isn't that expensive because you just sort of give them a rifle and have them march around and call them an infantryman. A tanker, on the other hand, is a bit more expensive because you have to train them up. And they do have budgetary issues in having such a large army, meaning you could shrink the overall size of the army and up the professional units. Well, if you look back at the FT-17 of World War I, but is still being used in World War II, and its replacements, the R-35 and the H-35 tanks, those were two-man tanks. Well, one of the reasons they liked the two-man tank is you only had 2 men in it, smaller budgetary situation. So the French kept this in mind when they were developing the AMX-13 series of tanks, in that it's a 3-man tank, but it was one of, I don't know if it's the first, it's probably, but one of the early mass-produced auto-loading guns. It had, so there's no loader in it. It's 2 rotary magazines, loading the tank or loading the gun, if I'm not mistaken. Of I think 6 rounds per each of the 2 rotary magazines. Yeah, 12 rounds here. It's sort of showing. I don't know. E and HE. So that's, and they carry more ammo, I believe, in the whole, but I'm not sure. And so it's very economical in manpower sense. Even though you're trying to have a mass army, it's still trying to be economical in it. And so it has its problems. Like I say, I would not want to ride around in one of them because of its light armor. Yes, it's fast, it's quick. But what are you fighting against? We're getting pounded here, but we're just going to take it and hope to kill. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a few rifle squads still moving up. We have another rifle squad here that's trying to move across the road while everybody's shooting at them. Looks like they're marching, but presumably they're running or crawling or something. I would either be dashing or crawling or going, oh no, I'm not going across that fire zone, kill zone. Oh, another main battle tank there. Oh, we have a, somehow, oh, a flamethrower tank has made it into our sort of rear area. Let's see if that will engage them. Boom. Destroyed. What are we saying about the Yom Kippur War? The Arab-Israeli conflict is very high. Yes, that would be fun. Yeah, and I'm definitely taking some of my knowledge on it from the Israelis' use. The Israelis used some AMX-13s, where the Egyptians, also budget conscious, they had a very large army, but wanted to update some of their tanks. They bought AMX-13 turrets and put them on Sherman hulls, whereas, you know, the sort of Super Sherman or the I Sherman or whatever you want to call it, the Israeli Sherman, in which they are upgunning a Sherman to 105 millimeter gun on it, and partially sticking, elongating the turret, I think, to handle the ammunition in the back of it, but also, my understanding is simply to have extra weight in the back of the turret to counterbalance the weight of the gun. So so they upgraded their Shermans that way, where the Egyptians were upgrading them by sticking new turrets on them. And I don't think it worked out so well for the Egyptians. But that may be as much about training as anything else. Okay, another main battle tank here getting shot at. Okay, we lost, yeah. Okay, we have one bazooka team here. We are running low on tanks too. Okay. Let's advance this way. Let's just look at the line of sights here. Okay. Not terribly good. Well, so let's go back to here. Now we go to contact here. So it'll stop hopefully if it meets contact in there. To any of these guys. I am worried a bit about its own flank as it's moving forward, but I know we're moving these guys up here. as well, but might as well, if we're going to need them, get them started moving now instead of wait till we learn that we do need them. Hello, is it AF Nord? Hopefully I'm not butchering that too badly. Well, as you can see, we've had a good kill zone here, though. As you can see, we've had a lot of units taken out ourselves. Well, let's fast move you to here. I'm not sure if that's a good spot, but takes a little bit of time, which it should be, is, you know, getting the radio message to them and have them move. And I like that about this game. And of course, if you haven't, I will be posting this on my YouTube channel. That's gamer_1745. You can also find me on Twitch at gamer_1745. Again, there's a link to YouTube. And of course, you can watch the VOD of this later if you want to go back and see sort of how I get to this point. I do like it that that it does do decent pathfinding, and we can cancel it. Now, I was sort of hoping maybe a little bit more of here, but I don't know if I'm bothered to. And I'll give you some of my philosophy on why I've done what I've done. Okay, we don't really want you bunched up. Let's do here. As I was saying, I've had might as well go fast. Just get here. Oh, you know, again, I'm okay. Left click there, right click to end the movement. There we go. Various training. I think I have a good background in strategy and tactics. I am still fairly new to this particular game, so some of the mechanics here are I'm not the best on. Uh-oh, yeah, you guys don't separate, don't get too bunched up. I did that to you, I know. Close Combat's another good game. One thing that, and I will say that I tried to do with this setup, and I try to do a close combat, is try to make sure that I have, sort of like what we're seeing here, multiple possible, multiple units targeting one unit, instead of having one unit out there being the opposite. So if I was going to be on the offensive, I would definitely try to be poking some reconnaissance elements out forward to identify enemy locations. I don't know whether I would be a good armored commander, in whether it would be bold enough with the armor. I definitely would want to poke, like I say, reconnaissance out there, artillery the spots that we're identifying enemy units from, and then I would want to be moving my tanks up in such a way that more than one of them appears in an area at the same time. So instead of sort of, we have SU-122 self-propelled gun and a T-62. Instead of having them sort of come into the fire zone one at a time, move them up in a line abreast so that they all enter the fire zone at once. So you're not You know, they can't concentrate to fire on you as well. Well, there's another Matrix game, Close Combat. The Bloody First is out, and it's a 3D map instead of a 2D map, and it's doing really nice. So if you're interested in World War II tactical gaming, I can recommend that as well. Uh-oh, artillery's coming close. Now, what we can do here is line of sight this out. Okay, yeah, hopefully he can sort of see and engage that. I was hoping. And I really like doing these to show you a game so that you know what it is you're getting. Because I believe so... Oh, good. Got the 122. That 122 would be very damaging for firing on buildings and such. It's a very high explosive shell. Probably also be very damaging against AMX-13 tanks as well. But definitely a building destroyer. But like I was saying, get you to see the game, see how it's played. I think a happy customer is the best kind of customer, so they know what kind of game they're getting, what kind of setup they have for it. And so if you're looking for World War II, Close Combat, the Bloody First is really good option there. Uh-oh, we've got last minute arrival of PTR-60. Yeah, I want to get into this too. Two of them, okay. I don't know if I'm misjudging this, but I just see the AI seemingly to send these units in piecemeal at me. So that, is that a crew or, I don't know, somebody's moving out. Yeah, so many good games, so little time. Yeah, my Steam library has lots of stuff in it that I don't get to. Well, thank you. Looks like they're doing a last-minute charge and just getting destroyed. My understanding of the Soviet tactics is a rapid movement, overwhelming, coming at you. But it's definitely designed to be overwhelming in that it is a lot at once. And not just, I think I've faced many units, tanks, infantry squads, that's why I'm just saying units, but not in a concentration at any one point at any one time. I don't know whether it, I'm joking when I say this, my brilliance in deployment in keeping them from being able to do that, or simply just the tactics that they're using. Oh, more artillery coming in. There's definitely something to be said about firing and maneuvering these guys a little bit more than I have been. Once I sort of realized that their position is compromised and that they've been, you know, they fired at somebody so they've been seen, to then get them to move, to avoid this very thing from happening. Yeah, maybe. There was... I would have thought it would have been the other way around. Oh, well, we have... What's that? T-62 there, T-62. What is your line of sight here? Okay, you're not doing us any good here. Okay. Well, let's also look. Just trying to get into their rear to... Okay. Let's see, we're going to have you move to contact here, just for the hell of it. The other than that, I could have put artillery on this, but I don't know. We're so far out of our targeting zone. The Soviets really had a brute force approach to electronic jamming, and I like I say, I would have thought if anything, it would be the Soviets or the Warsaw Pact jamming NATO a bit more. Yeah, no, coming around the flank, that is something that I would want to do as a commander, for sure. I hate the idea of coming up the center. I hate that with a passion. So, 4 seconds until he starts moving. Okay, battle has reached its conclusion. Show the after-action report. Well, we at least held all of the capture points, the control points, or the victory points. What I forget. What play so many games, they use the similar titles for the things. Well, we had a tactical victory. Let's take a look at this. We deployed 118 troops. We lost 52, so slightly less than half lost. Well, we deployed 22 vehicles. We lost 13. Slightly more than half. All of our guns seemed to survive. Our mortars survived. Our aircraft survived its airstrike, though they didn't... I don't think they did anything effective. My fault, probably more than theirs. Troops, the enemies, well, we killed 174, routed 8, and took out 61 of their vehicles. So... troop losses, yeah, that's acceptable. Vehicle losses, I would say that's very good. About a 5-to-1 kill-death ratio. Pretty good. And what is studio saying? The AI behaves different every time. No scenario plays the same way twice. It's a challenge to make dynamic... Yeah. Yes, I do understand that it is very difficult to program good AI. It is very difficult. So yeah, that is reasonably good. It isn't a overwhelming victory or a decisive victory, I guess, what they call it, but I do sort of think of this as a reasonably good job. Thank you, Pino. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, that's the other thing is you don't want to make too smart of an AI.